Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
24 dogs were seized from a home in Oxford tonight. Their former owner now faces charges for each animal, found in what state troopers call deplorable conditions. And that's where we begin tonight. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. The Oxford First Selectman says the owner was in over his head and police had to intervene. Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot has the story from Oxford.
Police say John Ortiz was charged with 24 counts of animal cruelty Tuesday. Animal officials say when they seized the dogs from the Oxford home, they were poorly groomed, suffering from various medical conditions ranging from flea infestation to sight impairment.
We will not permit animal mistreatment in the town of Oxford. These dogs have been allowed to inbreed and fight with each other without any kind of control.
Oxford First Selectman George Temple was firm in his remarks Tuesday after state police say 24 dogs were seized from a home on Little Pond Cup Road. Animal control officials Adrian Croce says the dogs suffered immensely.
Some of them never been on a leash before, never been on a collar, never been outside the fence yard, so they freeze. Some of them can't see, so they don't know where they're going, so they hesitate.
Fox 61 spoke off camera with a delivery driver on Little Pond Cup Road. He called the owner of the home a nice person, but didn't expect what transpired Tuesday.
Even though, somebody wants to do the right thing, there's more than just giving them a home. You have to take care of them.
First Selectman Temple says this investigation into Ortiz and these animals has been going on for a long time.
Conducted by the town animal control officer and Oxford Police Department. It is a tribute to the efforts of ACO Adrian Croce seizing these dogs and putting an end to this deplorable situation.
I have been working with him for a while, and he just got to the point where he was way in over his head, and he couldn't catch up to where he needed to be, so he needed intervention.
When it came to the number of animals living in the home, the First Selectman says the situation was something no pet owner should ever get themselves into.
You can responsibly care for it. If you find that, as in this case, I think this individual really meant well, but he was overwhelmed, then it's time to give some of them up.
Ortiz is scheduled to appear in court at the end of the month. Oxford's First Selectman says several towns have helped by taking some of these dogs in, and there's not a timeline on when these dogs can be adopted. In Oxford, Kay Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
All right, time now for a first look at the weather, and some thick fog has rolled in tonight. Take a look at that camera on the left. That's our New Haven camera, and it is not broken. That's all fog. All right, then we turn up the heat tomorrow.
It's not a pretty shot there. Meteorologist Sam Samperi is in for Rachel Frank tonight with a first look at the forecast. What are we looking at tomorrow, Sam?
Well, we're going to have a transition day for tomorrow, guys. We're going to get rid of the fog, maybe even have a shower and storm in the morning, then turns more humid, and then the big heat is on for Thursday. But right now, actually, we do have dense fog advisory has been issued overnight till tomorrow morning at 7, right along the shoreline, Long Island Sound. Temperatures right now are in the 60s. And the dew points are right there, too. That's why we have the fog, and you can see the visibility. Now, some of it is up and down, but, it's dense fog overnight, especially down along the shore. That's because we have the wind off the water, and we have some showers still off to the west, and that's the warm front, and we're going to have to deal with on and off showers, too, most of it light. And so for tonight, cloudy with that dense fog along the shoreline. And then basically, we're going to have temperatures down in the 60s, maybe a shower or storm in the morning. And then during the afternoon, we might see a little bit of sun at the end of the day. Temperatures well up into the 70s, turning more humid, setting the stage for a hot day on Thursday. And the rest of the week into the weekend, what about that? And big heat next week. I'll have a lot to talk about on your Fox 61 7-day forecast, guys.
All right, Sam, thank you. Well, firefighters are sharing new details tonight about a fire in Torrington that charred a vacant home this afternoon. No one was hurt, but people on Main Street say it was a close call. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi brings us the latest from Main Street.
Yeah, fire crews responded to this 3-story house on Main Street just after 2 p.m. this Tuesday afternoon. Now, firefighters say they found heavy flames coming from the building. Now, a local business owner told us the fire was so intense, he was scared it will spread to his business. It was a wild scene Tuesday afternoon when Torrington fire crews pulled up to a large home engulfed in flames along Main Street. Even more so for neighbors, including Carlos Facella, who owns La Cucina restaurant next door.
It was scary because we don't know, how far it can go. But lucky, the fire truck came right away and he have it controlled in maybe in 1 hour.
Facella says he immediately called 911 after spotting the flames coming from the multi-floor building.
And then the time we served the people the lunch, all the people started to go look at the window and say, we got fire, fire, fire. So we called 911 between the waiter and me, and after a few minutes, everybody, the ambulance, the fire truck, everything came into here.
Sarah Lush lives in the area. She says she was astonished when she saw smoke and the fast response from firefighters.
It's sad. I hope nobody is in the house at that time.
And fortunately, no one was in the house when the fire broke out. The Torrington Fire Battalion chief said a crew searched through the vacant home, but didn't find anyone inside. No firefighters were hurt, and the chief was grateful for that, considering he reported only 12 firefighters at the scene for this fire. Despite the less than ideal crew size, firefighters were able to get the flames under control and keep the flames from spreading. This fire created major traffic problem in the area, with police keeping several major roads closed for hours while firefighters investigated.
It was jammed, traffic jam everywhere. The lights were out down there. It's terrible, very terrible.
Now, the Torrington Fire Battalion chief says the cause of the fire remains under investigation. In Torrington, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Fox 61 follow-up here. A major step forward, that is, in East Hartford will reshape the town.
Now, the town sold the property where the old Showcase Cinemas used to sit, and that clears the way for a brand new apartment complex.
Fox 61's Raven Blue has reaction from people in town on this proposed development.
The future of this long vacant 25-acre property in East Hartford along I-84 will soon bring new life to the area with a proposed more than 300-unit apartment complex.
I hope that this brings a lot more people to the community. I hope that this brings a lot more hope to the community.
S&M Roxon is among those people living in East Hartford looking forward to the new project to come to town. East Hartford officials formally closed on the sale of the former Showcase Cinemas movie theater on Silver Lane. The property has been vacant for years, ever since the theater was demolished back in 2020 in anticipation of a proposed casino in East Hartford. However, when those plans fell through, so did the development ideas until now. Developers are planning to build a new housing development, sparking optimism in the community for the much-needed space.
I would think it's a very good thing that they're turning it into housing units, especially if it's affordable housing units.
We need more housing than business areas around here.
The town bought the property in 2019, and in 2023, the town council voted unanimously to sell it to developer Jasko Zellman, with plans to transform the property into Concourse Park, a more than 300-unit complex with a dog park, pool, clubhouse, co-working center, and a golf simulator. Zadania Brown says she hopes this new complex helps revitalize the area.
At least people get an experience of East Hartford, because it's a very quiet place. I love it because I've been here for 9 years or 8 years, but I love it in East Hartford. I think it's much better.
I think that it will, allow more job opportunities. Hopefully more people can move to East Hartford and start to find jobs here and start to build lives here, because this really is a nice town.
East Hartford Mayor Connor Martin expects construction on the new apartment complex to begin in 2026. In East Hartford, Raven Blue, Fox 61.
Manuatan, a family desperate to find their daughter, has put up $50,000 as a reward. 26-year-old Jillian Goblerish was last seen leaving New Haven's Union Station on May 15th. Her family says she had just moved to New Haven from New York City, but police say no one has heard from her in over a month now. The family says they will pay $50,000 for information that brings Goblerish home. If you think you've seen her or if you have any information on her whereabouts, whereabouts. Call New Haven police.
A man from Clinton died while hiking in New Hampshire. It happened in a remote area, so the Army National Guard had to be called in to help. Officials say Richard Perrell was hiking yesterday by himself at 1:30 in the afternoon. He collapsed on the trail after some sort of medical emergency. Thankfully, some other hikers called 911 for him. The closest road to the trail is 3 miles away, so a couple hours later, the Army National Guard took him to an airport to meet an EMS crew via helicopter. After they landed, medical staff pronounced him dead. The cause of his death hasn't been released.
A former Connecticut state trooper from Winstead has been arrested and accused of defrauding the state's workers' compensation system. It's the latest charge for 32-year-old Jose Campos, who has previously been arrested for computer crimes and sexual assault in unrelated cases. Prosecutors tell us Campos claimed he was injured by a restroom door while on duty, and he got more than $8,000 in benefits. But officials now say it was a fraudulent claim. Campos surrendered to police in Rocky Hill and was released on bond. He is due in Hartford court tomorrow.
The trustee overseeing Alex Jones' bankruptcy case says he's shielding millions from creditors. That trustee sued him Friday. They allege Jones tried to hide assets through a complex series of limited liability companies, his wife, and his father. Creditors include Sandy Hook families who were looking to collect the $1.4 billion they're owed in defamation damages. Jones denies trying to hide his assets and is appealing the Sandy Hook judgments.